Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. Paul here from Fiesta Adventures. Today we're going to take you on a gravel bike ride adventure, which actually is not going as planned. I'm in Big Sur now, south of Big Sur, and the idea was to ride up Nacimiento Road to the summit and then take South Cone Peak Road. I was going to try to take that all the way to Plaskett Road, and then Plaskett Road takes you back down to Highway 1, and this section's all dirt, and then I would take Highway 1 on the road back to Kirk Creek Campground. Now, that didn't go as planned. I am in the middle of the ride right now, stopping for lunch in a beautiful spot overlooking the coast. I'm not going to spill the beans what happened now. You can watch the video. Come on along for the ride, and it's going to be a lot of fun. All right, everybody, and I'm riding my bike up the Nacimiento Road. The Nacimiento Road from Highway 1 goes up very steeply, switchbacks, and as a result you don't go very far inland. You can look down on the coast there, and right over my shoulder here, that's the Kirk Creek Campground, and I'm going to show you a little pan showing the road and the campground below. All right, there's looking up Nacimiento Road from where I stand, about 2 miles up the road. It's about 7 miles to the summit. 2,700 foot climb, pretty big. And now I'm looking down the road and swinging around back toward the west, looking back at the water. And down below me, directly below me, is the campground, and you can see how it's perched there on the cliffs, and it's just a beautiful spot. There's looking north on the coast. You can see Highway 1 along there. All right, everybody, here I am at the top of Nacimiento Road. And my plan was to head down the South Coast Ridge Road here and try to connect with the Plaskett Road, and then descend Plaskett Road down to Highway 1 and then return to my campground at Kirk Creek on Highway 1. But I talked to the camp host, and he told me it goes through private property and there's closed lock gates. And when I asked him, I said, well, kind of jokingly, is there anybody up there that's gonna shoot me with a shotgun if I hop over the closed gates on private property? Excuse me. And he said, yes, actually there's a woman up there with a shotgun and she will shoot you. So I'm gonna head down here and see what it looks like. The weird thing is that the sign says Plaskett Ridge Road 7, and that's a Forest Service sign. It doesn't mean I can get through, but it means, well, maybe at least I can go 7 miles, so let's find out. All right, we're starting down the road. You can see that we're definitely going through the fire zone here, and that's part of the reason why this whole area is closed, because they feel like it's, the road and everything, and the ground is unstable due to the fire and potential for erosion and slides and whatnot. But the sign says closed to motor vehicles, and the gates are closed. So my understanding is that you can still bike and hike through here. All right, so the road rolls along the ridge top from the summit of Nacimiento Road. And at first we're looking to the west only, and now we break out and we're looking to the east toward, Hunter Liggett and King City over that way. And you can see how rugged these mountains are here, and you can also see how the plants are trying to grow back after the fire that came through here several years ago. So you see a lot of green and low brush. All right, everybody, I'm a little less than 3 miles in on the South Cone Ridge Road. I think I'm at the high point now. I've climbed about 700 feet since the summit of Nacimiento Road, which you can see cut out into the bare ridge over that away. The road it's early November, and we've had 2 rains so far, and the road is in perfect condition. I brought the gravel bike today, as you can see, and with 38 millimeter tires, and the road's like really smooth. There's no dust, there's no mud. So it's going pretty well. I think I've gone, as I said, about just less than 3 miles, and it was 7 miles to the Plaskett Ridge Road. So I suspect there's going to be some obstacle before then, but let's continue on and see what we find. All right, so I just came to the sign. I actually came from that away and came past the sign this way. So if you're apparently if you're coming this way, this is where the Plaskett Road is closed. On a steep downhill, there was a short paved section, which was interesting. All right, so I just talked to a local dude. He came by in his car and he was like super friendly. And he told me that there is a lady down there with the private land. She has dogs. She will send the dogs after you. So he's like, don't do it. But he says there's a fire break down the previous drainage. That's the Plaskett drainage, and there's one called the Pruitt, I think, drainage. And he says, go have a look at it. You can get down to the highway on the fire break, but he says it's really rough. So it could be one of those adventures that I probably shouldn't do. So I'm gonna go check that out, and if it doesn't look good, then I'm gonna turn around. Unfortunately, you can't get through, so that's too bad, because this is a pretty nice route otherwise. All right, well, I think I found that Pruitt Ridge. There's supposed to be a trail. It's not really a trail. You can see it kind of here, and I think it's gonna go like super steep down and be kind of technical and probably not rideable. But it's, if my GPS Gaia map is right, it's like 3.5 miles down to Highway 1. So I mean, at worst case, 2 hours. It's, you know, pushing, I don't know, 3 o'clock. So get down there at 5, have another hour to ride a few miles on Highway 1 back to camp. So I think this is a mighty fine adventure. You know, what could possibly go wrong? Probably a lot of things. The thing to do is for me not to ride too much of it if it's in, you know, if it's in danger of having a crash or something. I'm out here alone. I hear there's big cats. I mean, it's so beautiful out here. This is kind of exciting to me, and I don't think it's, I keep talking about the risk and the danger. It's probably because I think it is risky, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna be careful. So come on along, let's go. All right, I'm trying to hold my camera and show you guys what this looks like. So far, I'm riding all of it. This one hand thing is not working out so well, but hang on. Yeah, so, I mean, it's really overgrown and nobody's used this thing for a while, but there are some sections back there that are super steep, but this is totally rideable here, and we'll see how it goes. Wow, it's stunningly beautiful. So I'm gonna head down this ridge right in front of me, and so here's like a pretty steep section with basically no trail, all overgrown. So I might ride it, I might walk it, and then here's looking up the coast to the north. Just a beautiful view from this ridge, amazing. And there's over toward the Nacimiento summit back there from where I came. All right, so here we have another rare rideable section, but it's still bumpy. I can't, you know, hold the camera, it's crazy. So the trail's just kind of gone, and I'm doing my best. The view is amazing. So we're gonna come to another, so we're going down the ridge, and it's just up and down. There's super steep parts, and then there's some mellower parts. But here we come to another place where we can see down to the ocean. Quite beautiful. All right, I just completed a pretty good rideable section down this grassy ridge behind me, and that was pretty good. And then it opens up to this beautiful view down to the ocean, all the way over that way. And then if you look right down on this thing below me here, you can see the trail down there just goes down the ridge. So the only issue I see is that we're gonna get like right to almost to the coast, and then it's just gonna drop sheer off. So I think, you know, it's gonna be like a super steep switchback hiking trail, but I don't see any reason why I can't carry the bike down it. It's actually going pretty well. And there is a trail, and up there it was harder to find, but you know, down here when it's open you can see it pretty well. Heck, I might get so cocky, I might stop on that knoll down there and have my lunch. I brought a lunch, but I was worried about stopping because of time. All right, so I just finished a pretty nice rideable section all the way down from the top of that knoll up there, and now I'm getting down into the trees here. And one of the things I've noticed is that there are these, I don't know if you can see this little, right in front of me, there's this like a fire break kind of thing, or, you know, not a fire break, but a water break. And there's been a number of these along the trail. The local told me that they had done some firework in here during or probably during the fire, because in addition to these water breaks here, I've been noticing at the top of the trail, there's some quite large trees, like, I mean, not large, but 6-8 inch diameter trees that were cut right in the middle of the trail. So it's almost as though the trail hadn't been maintained in many years. And then for the fire or whatever, they needed to get whatever little ATVs up here or something. And they did some clearing. And this must have been, I don't know when the fire was, like 3, 4, 5 years ago, something like that. And then they haven't done anything since, so it's all kind of growing back. It is navigable, and I'm starting to think I'm going to make it here. Progress is really slow. I mean, it's taken me, I don't know, probably half an hour to go the first mile, something like that. I'm going to keep moving. Probably stop for lunch because I think I'm in pretty good shape. All right, people. So at this point, I am at my lunch stop. I think I've made it about halfway down, and it took me like, I don't know, 30, 40 minutes. So I'm in pretty good shape, and you can see, you can look down there and you can see the where the coast is, and you can see the highway down there. So as I predicted, I'm high above it. I mean, really high above it. And I've got a plummet down there, but it looks like the terrain down there is kind of like open, which is probably better because they can, maybe the trail will be, or if there is a trail, will be switchbacks. But I'm pretty confident this thing's gonna go now. And I've been able to ride some of it. If you look up, I came down from that high knoll up there. A lot of that was rideable. I kind of predict that, you know, there's going to be a lot of hiking. The thing about this route, and I would actually recommend it, it's not like, oh, don't do it, it's a big hike-a-bike. The thing is the views are just, I mean, look at that. It's just like, it's so amazing. It's worth the hike-a-bike section, and I don't know, I've ridden maybe half of it. And it's only, the hike-a-bike section is only 3.5 miles. That's walking less than 2 miles, I would think. So, I don't know. To me, it's worth it. I mean, what a spot I have here for my lunch. It's just awesome. So, anyway, I think I'm going to carry on. It's getting a little late. I think it's 3:30. I still got another hour or so probably to get down there, and then I got to ride back on the highway. Should be back well before dark. Proper technique to keep moving, eh? All right, let's go. All right, well, here's another fairly easy section. Although, again, when I film, I have to ride with one hand, so it's not that easy. But this is just heading down this kind of wide open ridge here. You can see the water over that way. All right, folks, it's kind of looking like I'm out of the woods here. If you look down, this is a steep, super wide trail. It looks like it just goes straight down. I was expecting kind of a little single track, but I think this is what the guy was talking about when they said that they did a fire easement up here, because this is clearly like a wide kind of bulldozed area here with these water breaks every, I don't know, 50, 100 feet. Wow, it looks like this adventure is going to be a success, as long as I don't kill myself on this last part, but fingers crossed. Here we go. All right, I just want to show you guys the last little bit of trail. That super steep, wide fire easement does go straight down the hill, but it's like, it's crazy steep and really loose. And so there is a single track, which you can see like kind of going in between this pampas grass here. So it's really rough, but it's mostly rideable. So I've been riding this last little bit, and I'm sorry I don't have like a GoPro mounted on my handlebar, because it would be cool to see this, but I don't, and it's just, I can't ride this stuff with one hand. There's no way. I'm trying to film this last bit here, but it's a little dicey. Here we are, folks. Highway 1. We made it, or I made it, and you made it along with me. This was a pretty darn fun adventure. I really enjoyed that. Absolutely beautiful. Well, folks, fine adventures often end like this. Climbing over a fence. I guess this isn't really an official trailhead, It's just kind of a locked gate, so no signs, no trailhead. So I don't even know if it's open to the public, but I think it is. I think you're okay going up there. Anyway, let's get on the road and get back to camp. There's a shot looking back up the hill from where I came. All right. What the hell is that? Looks like a electric Tacoma pickup or something. Thanks for coming along on that great adventure. Speaking of adventure, I want to talk about a little bit about safety and what adventure means to me. If you look up the definition of adventure, it's taking risks when there may be a reward. So in other words, a really difficult or possibly dangerous situation leads you into a great sense of achievement. I want to address the fact that I was out there alone in the wilderness, no cell coverage, the safety precautions that I took. Firstly, this is big cat country, and I did bring my knife, which is on my hip here. Again, not that that's going to save me, but at least I have a fighting chance if a cat were to attack me. I think that most big cats would not attack a group of 2 or more, but a single biker is, I think, slightly at risk. So that's why I do that. Now, as far as you animal rights people there who are saying that I should just die and not fight back or whatever because the cat's in his own environment and all that, yeah, I get that. But you can do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm gonna fight for my life. Sorry about the cars. Next thing is I did leave a note on my van where I was going, and I changed my route, but a good search and rescue person could follow the bike tracks, the tire tracks, and figure out where I went. Thirdly, I checked the nighttime temperatures, and tonight is going to be a low of 55 degrees. I've got a base layer, a jersey, arm warmers, knee warmers, shorts, and I have a down vest and a windbreaker and a beanie cap. So I would be able to survive out there for a night easily. I've got plenty of food to take me overnight, and the other really important item that I have with me is a Garmin InReach satellite device. So if you're not familiar with this, what this does, you can actually send an SOS signal no matter where you are, as long as you have satellites above you, which is always anywhere in the world. So if I were to have broken my leg or something where I absolutely couldn't move and couldn't get out of there, or was attacked by a cat and couldn't move and get out of there, then I can send an SOS. Lastly is an important thing that I actually forgot, a light for the bike, for the handlebars, and also just my camping headlamp. I should have brought both of those, I didn't. So the only light I have is on my cell phone, which isn't that reliable. So anyway, I just wanted, just in case anybody was saying that I'm crazy for taking a risk like that, I just wanted to point out that I do try to take safety precautions. I do things that are slightly stupid, but not completely stupid. In this case, the reward was definitely worth the risk. The views were amazing. I discovered a new route. I didn't know what was coming. I did some challenging riding. I would recommend this route. The only caution I would make is that if you really are adverse to hike a bike, then it's maybe not so great. But I mean, I hike a bike maybe 1.5 miles, 2 miles at the most. Had a mountain bike with proper mountain bike tires and pressures, I probably could have rode 75–80% of it. Thanks for coming along. If you liked the video, please do give it the old thumbs up, and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. I've got a lot of great adventures planned, so come on along with me. And until then, thanks for watching.